Alright, welcome back guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed your story problems. Today we're going to talk about our final way to solve a system of linear equations. Okay, so your warm-up are just list what 3 techniques have we learned so far and how to solve a system of equations. If you don't remember those, go back, look at your notes, okay? Otherwise you'll probably figure it out from this lecture. Okay, so I'm just going to read this nice paragraph. Like I said, we have a final way to solve it, and that's by graphing. Now, some of you are going to be like, oh, we got a graph, but Miss Osbeck was very nice, and she's going to let you use a website to help you graph it, okay? And this way can be very inaccurate when drawing by hand. It can even be difficult when graphed on a computer if the x and y values are not nice whole numbers, okay? So even when the computer graphs it and it's on a perfect point, sometimes maybe it's in the middle of 2 and you're like, is it 3.5 or 3.75? I'm not really sure. So that's why we don't usually graph to solve the equations or the system of equations, okay? We will play with the graphing calculator to help us solve, so I have my laptop next to me over here, which you'll see in a couple minutes. Okay. So the first thing I have us do, though, is we're going to solve this system by whatever method you prefer. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so I have x plus 2y equals 4 and x minus y equals 1. So I'm going to choose to cancel out x. So I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by -1. I could have multiplied the top equation by -1. By now you guys know how to do this. So I'm rewriting the top equation. I'm going to distribute the -1 to every piece, unlike I did last time. So I get -x plus y equals -1. Then I'm going to add my wonderful equations together. So my x's cancel out now. 2y plus y is 3y. 4 plus -1 is 3. To get y by itself, I divide both sides by 3. So I get y equals 1. Okay. Now, if I do this, I plug it back in, I'm going to plug y into the top one. So I have x plus 2 times 1 equals 4. So I plug that into x plus 2y equals 4. Oops, sorry, you guys can't see that. So I get x plus 2 equals 4. If I subtract 2 from both sides, I get x equals 2. So my final solution, if I put it in point form, was, that's a 1, is 2 comma 1. Now what I'm going to do is you're going to use this website, and you're also going to go to this while we're watching the video, okay? And you're going to graph both of these lines to see where they intersect, okay? So if you need to click on this link, you can go to Google Classroom and go onto the notes, and you'll just be able to click it. You won't have to type this whole long thing in, because that would be a lot annoying. So I'm going to kind of show you what I'm doing on my computer here, if you can kind of see it. If you look, you can kind of see this table. It's got numbers and points. Let me move my battery here. Okay. So I know the screen's going kind of funky, but you can see these lines, and you'll actually, when you're on your computer, you'll be able to see. Let me pull it out of its holder here. Sorry, guys. When you see here, it says insert your equation here. So I'm actually going to type my equation, x plus 2y, into this table here. So x plus 2y, sorry, I'm moving you around a little bit, equals 4. So I type the entire equation into this line, and if you can see that there. There you go. And then I'm going to type my second equation into the second line, and that's x minus y equals 1. So you can see I haven't dealt anything with the minimum or maximum, okay? I just typed both equations in, one to one line, one to the other line. Now if you look at the top, there's these tab things here. You want to hit graph. Okay. Now if you look at the 2 lines here, let me scroll down a bit. It's going to let me. You can see the 2 lines. One's the red line and one's the blue line, okay? Now if you look where those 2 cross, they intersect right there at that point, which is the point 2 comma 1, because I went 2 over on the x, up 1 on the y. So that graph confirms what I did here. So both of them have a solution of 2 comma 1. So when we've been finding all of these solutions, it corresponds with the graph point where the 2 lines intersect. That is the one solution for both equations here. Okay? So that's what we want to happen. So that's kind of the shortcut way when they're nice lines and you have a graphing tool available to you. Now some of our graphing calculators can do this as well. And if you'd like me to show you that, I can. Okay, so the notice here is notice that the point found using the preferred method is the same as the point from the graph. So the point where the two intersect is the solution to the equation, which is just what I said. Okay. So I'm going to hook you guys back in here. So forgive me, it's going to move a little bit. Okay. And now we're going to go look at another example. Okay. So if I look at this, we have another system, x plus y equals 6 and 2x plus y equals 8. Now a couple of the the questions on your homework are going to ask you something slightly different than just solving it. They're going to ask you for that table again, which we've talked about before. So they actually give you the table. Okay, so it says complete each table of values for the system of equations. So they give you the first equation, x plus y equals 6, and they want you to solve when x equals 0, which they were nice and already did that for you, when x equals 1 and x equals 2. So when x equals 1, zoom in here. Sorry guys, you're kind of on a tilt, I apologize. So when x equals 1, sorry, this is kind of awkward. And x plus y equals 6, well 1 plus y equals 6, so y is 5, right? And then when x equals 2, x plus y equals 6, so 2 plus y equals 6, so obviously y has to be 4. So I filled in my wonderful table. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with 2x plus y equals 8. So 2x plus y equals 8, and x equals 0, because that's the first one that's not filled in. So 2 times 0 plus y equals 8, so y equals 8. And then I'm going to plug in when x equals 2, whoops, to the same equation. So I have 2 times 2 plus y equals 8. 2 times 2 is 4, so I have 4 plus y equals 8. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, so y equals 4. Now if you remember, when we did the first section of this chapter and we solved for tables, we looked for when they were the same. So I have 0, 6, 0, 8, 1, 5, 1, 6, 2, 4, 2, 4. So the solution to this equation is 2, 4. Okay. But again, because they're talking about graphing the points and everything like that, we're going to look at the graph and confirm and see if that's actually the same. Okay, because that's what part B says. Graph the equations on the same coordinate plane. So I'm going to go back to my computer here. So if you just scroll up to the top again and just hit equations, it'll get you back to that first screen we had. So you're going to delete what we started with here. And I'm going to type in x. Oops, let's type it in the first line here, if you can see that. Oops, you guys can't quite see that. I'm going to type it in the first line. X plus y equals 6. And 2x plus y equals 8. Okay. And again, I just hit this graph button up at the top, okay? Now I'm looking to see where they intersect, and if I zoom in just a little bit, you can see here they intersect at the point 2, 4. Because x is at 2, y is at 4, because it's this point right here. Okay? So again, the graph is just confirming what we already know. That's why we don't usually use it, because it's not as accurate when we draw it by hand, and you guys will not always have a graphing calculator with you. Okay? So, part B just wanted me to graph it, which I did. And then see what is the solution from the graph. So the solution was 2, 4, because that's where the two lines intersect. And that's also what we got on our table up here, was 2, 4. Okay, so they all kind of go together here. Now I didn't write the homework problems on this, but you guys can look at it on Google Classroom, or on Ramweb, or on the whiteboard. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.